Welcome to Rocks Talks. It's so good to see y'all this morning. You know, there's a song that goes, "It never rains in Southern California." So they tell me, and I used to, actually there's an early version I never knew about. I just know about the R&B version from the 80s. I tell you this because I used to sing that song whenever it rained in Southern California when we lived there, because I'm like, what the heck? Well, today and yesterday, it has been raining in sunny Valley of the Sun. And I'm like, what is going on? It is what it is. Wow. But it's kind of pretty. I can handle it because it's like warm rain. It's not bad. Like, it's like. So yesterday, when we left off, lots has happened since then. First, I need to tell you, I told you that I was going to tell you some news about some changes. So I'm going to tell you about that and podcast coming to an end. Not this one, but my other one, to a pause, I should say. Also, we're going to talk about DirectTV. I cut the cable cord and man, that was hard. And it shouldn't have been. And also, we're going to chitty chat about, let's see what else. Some other things. We'll see. Time allowing. We will see. So to kind of go back to yesterday, my day was actually really, it was the beginning of a new week, a new era for me in a lot of ways, because I was doing, I love to tell you just all the goods. It's what we do here. So I, for the last 2 years and some change, had been doing, I always call it corporate training for a software company, and now I've kind of, I'm no longer doing that. Essentially, kind of. I will be doing some contract work for them, but not on such a grand level, which is so good because it frees me up to be me, which I gotta be me. So it's a really great thing in a lot of ways, and it also is, I think, one of the culminations of where I was going and how things have been shifting as I've been like going. I want to do less niching, however you want to say that. And doing more of moi, which is all things. So it's a great thing. But this beginning of this week was the full, okay, let me lean into that more now that I'm here and all the things. So yesterday was really good. I felt really productive in a lot of ways. Scott and I did a video, which I'm gonna have to show you. We created some content around this really cool canvas that kind of tells the story of our love based on like geography. Anyhow, we did that. He got all dressed up and ready for me so we could record that, and it turned out really, really good. I'm gonna put it on my Instagram. Probably put it on my at Rocks Talks Instagram in the next few days because I'm really proud of it and I think it's fantastic. So we did that. I did a lot of recording yesterday. I really did. I did recording outside. I did recording in my kitchen. So a lot of new content's gonna be coming out. So I'm excited for you to see that and just show off some things that I care about, some things I like that you might like as well too. So I did that. I met with my my group of network marketers that I coach hands-on, and we had a group meeting yesterday. I was getting them into video 2024-ish. So we're just giving them some tidbits and some things to run out and do regarding that. And then after that, I did a lot of editing. I didn't do all the things I want to do, but I did a lot. And then I'm also in this academy for content creators. I joined it back in like November, when we're coming back from our Boston trip. And so I'm in that academy. So I went to one of our like group training things to get more, because I'm leading into a lot of content, which is a lot of fun. So that was like the nuts and bolts. But what I also did is I went out and I did my first official grocery store trifecta run, because gone are the days where you can just go to one grocery store. Am I right or am I right? You have to go to multiple grocery stores to get things. I don't understand why they do that. Give me one. We went to Costco a couple weeks ago before we went back to get our car to California. So that was good, but the refrigerator was looking very sparse. And I was like, all right, I gotta go. So Scott was none too sad that I had to go. He didn't have to go. So I went to Whole Foods because Whole Foods is the only place I go for meat. If find me a better place for meat, we'll talk. But until then, it's Whole Foods all the way. And the butcher there was just like, I think he was enamored with my desire to buy as much meat as I did, because I buy all my meat there. He's like, you want more? He was so excited. He's like, I love this because I make this stuff. So that was fun. Then I went to Fry's, which we used to go to Ralph's in Orange County, and Ralph's and Fry's are all part of the Kroger family. I'm trying different fries. This one was the better of the ones I've been to so far. So I'll go back to that one and got like salads and things like that. And then I go to Sprouts because Sprouts has the best I almost said over the counter, the best grocery store gummy bears comes from Sprouts. They are so good in their bulk aisle. Oh my gosh, you gotta get the 12 flavor one, y'all. Because gummy bears are not meant to be hard. I don't understand why people eat the Haribo or the ones that are like they're not meant to take a tooth out. They're meant to be yummy. They're meant to like just kind of almost melt in your mouth, and the flavors are meant to be amazing. That's why the 12 flavor one is great there. So went there and got that and some other things, and then my trifecta was over and I got to go home. So I'm learning. I'm still using the GPS even though I'm from here. I don't know where the stores are now and things, and that felt pretty good. And it one of the things that Scott and I discovered when we went to Costco a couple weeks ago was one of the greatest things about living in a house and not living in community living. We lived in a high rise, was a condo. They ended up, when it was built, the market was bad, so they made them apartments. So think like high rise living completely, which means you park in a parking garage and you take the elevator up. Well, that makes it a little hard when you've got your Costco run. You got to figure it out. And while I have it down, it is nice to literally park in the garage and just walk a few steps. And I'm like, oh, this is amazing. It's still one of the best things, I have to say, of little things. It's quite nice. We set up our TV downstairs. So we've got a big TV downstairs, one of Scott's loves, and we finally set it up and we got it on our console and did all the things. So our living room is looking like a living room now. It's going to change as we redo. We're starting with the bedroom, but as we redo everything. But it is a living room. And I tell you this because for some reason, DirectTV, which we have, DirectTV Stream, which we had there, move here, we have it again. It refuses to show us Arizona TV. It wants to show us LA TV. And while I love LA, I love Orange County, I should say. I love California. I never loved having to watch things really late. And being able to watch like The Bachelor premiere yesterday with Joey at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. instead of waiting to 8 p.m. is like, so amazing. I don't understand East Coast. You realize you stay up an hour later because your news comes on later, right? It comes on 11, not 10. It's always baffled me as I've lived in different places all around the country. And so, but we're still getting LA. And I spent an hour yesterday morning literally working on this, calling them and making sure that it worked in the TV upstairs. It took me an hour or longer. They didn't quite understand things, whatever, it's fine. Got it working. But downstairs did not work. Oh. So I was on an hour. It took me an hour and 45 minutes. By then, we'd already talked our way out of like, we don't want DirectTV, forget this. We have cut the cord before, but then went back to DirectTV, or went back to a TV. I consider DirectTV cable, I just do. And it was satellite, but it's basically cable. So we cut it again. We went to this company. It used to be called Gen 2 TV. Now it's Royalty something or other. I can send it if you want. $39, 4 devices. You get everything. I could watch The Bachelor here in Arizona and then watch it again in California. You get all the local stations. You get any sports station you ever want to think about. You get Red Zone. You get cricket. You get everything, y'all. And you get across the country and in Canada and around the world, $39. So they pissed us off. No, 39 or maybe it's 29. It's $30 total. They $35.99 with tax. They pissed us off so much that I'm like switching to that. But I tried to cancel. It took me literally 30 minutes to cancel. I finally said to them, this is torture. This is abuse. Please just let me cancel. They would not. No does not mean no in their world. Like, it was insane, even to the point where the chat disconnected when I said I wanted to cancel and said it repeatedly, so I had to go to another one. It was so like, and what was interesting, I put on Threads, because I've been feeling Threads lately. It feels like it's a thing. I put on Threads, wow, no means no unless it's DirectTV, what the heck? And I got a response back saying I had the same experience. DirectTV, if you can hear me right now, no means no. If I say I want to cancel, by golly gee willikers, let me cancel. Finally cancel. I'm like, I want to cancel and I want my refund. And they gave me a refund. I canceled, but they probably will have a timer. I'm like, okay, wait. If it hits the 2 hour, 30 minute mark, then we'll do it. Otherwise, no. No means no, let me go. So we are completely void of that. We have our internet, but we don't have it through AT&T anymore because they're not in our area. And we are all about using the, I don't know what they call it, IPTV or something. I don't know what they call it, but it's the technical term for it. I'm not sure. All I know is we get everything and game on, like Donkey Kong, for such little, and then I can get my Hulu. We have our Hulu on our YouTube, but when you do like that, literally, I was spending $144, y'all, $144 for DirectTV stream. Now I'm spending $35.99. It's a no-brainer. No-brainer. So that's exciting. The other thing I want to tell you about was, oh my goodness, this thing is bothering me, and I know I'm going to talk about it later, but I just want to just throw it out there. There was the CEO of L'Oreal came out and at some like conference and basically said that, I'm going to paraphrase, he basically said essentially that working from home is bad for mental health, it's bad for creativity, it's bad for a bunch of other things. And it's so funny because I was talking to some of my clients yesterday about how the work, like whenever I hear someone say that you got to go back into the office, that really means to me, we have real estate, we need to pay for it. And it was screaming that when I was like, oh my gosh. Some people do thrive working in an office. Others thrive working at home. But to blanketly say that about everything, it irked me. And in a world where we've proven after the lockdown that all companies, except for like essential workers, can work from home, it just seems so obtuse. Read the room. I don't know if you saw that, but I was like, this is ridiculous. Nutso. Let's calm down. The other thing I wanted to tell you, I feel like there's something else, and I told you the podcast. Did I tell you the podcast was ending? No, I told you I was going to tell you about that. Okay, so podcasts on pause. With all the changes and things going on in my life, it just made sense right now to go ahead and pause the Rocks Talks podcast for direct sellers, social sellers. So if you listen to that, thank you. If you want to hear me on the regular, come here because I'll be doing this still. This has not changed. And if you are a social seller, there's so much good, juicy content inside of the podcast. It's been going on for years and it's relevant. I actually had someone reach out to me yesterday and she sent me a voice message. She said, I just want to let you know, I was thinking about you a couple times this week because her upline in her company, who's very big, well-known, came out and said, I've always been known for being part of this company or that company, but what I'm realizing now is you need to brand yourself. I need to focus on my own brand. And she said, hello, Roxanne, you've been saying that for 4 years. And then there was also, I guess she also said, and I learned this weekend that the way to grow your business is to get a lead gen. And she's like, hello, you've been saying that for 4 years. So she said, I just want you to know you're ahead of your time. And as a human design manifestor, I don't know if you've done your human design, super interesting. That was like the greatest affirmation she could have given me. She's like, I just want you to know you're ahead of your time, my friend. And I went back and was like, I am. That is correct. I am. And I'm okay with that. And I feel like in a lot of ways, what I have taught in the niche I've been focusing on, which is helping social sellers, direct sellers, has been ahead of my time. And when that happens, people will receive it or they won't receive it. And that's just the way that it is. That's the life of a manifestor. And so I feel really good and complete when I hear that and I know that. And it gives me affirmation. Whenever if you're the type of person like I am, that just goes out on a limb, it's like, I'm feeling this, I'm going to do it. It's super scary all the time. You're afraid of being rejected. I'm doing this podcast right now and I'm afraid of rejection. I'm afraid that no one's going to listen. I'm afraid that, oh my gosh. And there have been episodes that look like no views. I'm like, okay, nobody heard it. No one listened. Maybe I'm not to be doing this, but that's normal. If I didn't feel that fear, if you want to call it that, then I wouldn't be doing the right thing. I don't want to be a 2.0 of something someone else has done. I want to be me, and I'm going to go out there and be a trailblazer. The first time I heard that word referring to me was when I was in college. And I remember I was like, I don't know if I want to be a trailblazer. You know what? We can fight who we are as much as we want to. That doesn't mean it's going to work. We are who we are. And so I dive into that and I'm going for it. And if you listen and you watch, thank you. And if you don't, that's okay too. Because I'm just not for you. I'm not for everyone, but I'm for you if you're still here, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of this. I will have some fun things to talk about tomorrow. Actually, I'm very excited to oops, sorry, kicking the camera. Tomorrow, because I am going back to the scene of the crime, to my dress, the company that tailored my dress. I'm going back there today because one of our family friends is getting married and she's doing her final dress pickup, and I'm going to kind of go there and check it out. I'm helping with her wedding. I'm not planning her wedding. I'm coordinating, day of coordination for wedding this Saturday as a favor to her. Pulling off, dusting off, all that things. Anyhow, so I'm excited to go back and see them because they're so lovely at Tailored in White and all the things. Check me out on @RoxTalks Instagram. I'd love for you to comment here. I read all the comments and I respond to all the comments. You're probably going, how many comments do you get, Roxanne? Doesn't matter. I respond and I read all of them. And or you can check me out at Valley Rocks on Instagram as well too. I appreciate you. Go be great, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.